Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we will call to order the regular board meeting for the Tuscaloosa City Schools, August 8, 2023. Let's have a period of silence. We will follow that by the Pledge of Allegiance. And in your thoughts and prayers tonight, let's remember all of our students and all of our teachers for their first day of school tomorrow. May we have a wonderful day full of safety and love and learning. So let's have a moment of silence. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, board.
Good evening.
Before we get started, I'd like to have a huge thank you and congratulations to Lydia, Miss Avant, for her wonderful job at our event on Monday. You did wonderful. You represented us with so much.
Wonderful.
I just thought it was a great event, so thank you. Thank you very much. All right, board may have a motion to adopt the regular board meeting agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Be approved. I'll at this time call for a motion to approve the minutes of the July 25th, 2023 regular board meeting, the minutes of the August 1st, 2023 called board and board work session.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Those will be approved. Item number 5, recognize Coach John Kane as the 2021 to 2022 Coach of the Year for boys tennis.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Board. Good evening. This is a recognition for Mr. Kane. You really could read the rest of that line, 21, 22. You can put another year in there and can be for Coach of the Year, Teacher of the Year, Band Instructor of the Year, Special Ed Teacher of the Year, Basketball Coach of the Year. He's kind of like this Swiss Army knife of educators. Tonight's recognition is certainly from the Athletic Association, but if you've been around a minute, you know this guy, and most importantly, you know his impact. From marching band, jazz ensemble, this is for tennis, and Mr. Hurd's going to address that in a minute. But it's fitting tonight, Board, that we're revisiting our vision and our mission, because our mission is to create and support a culture of high expectations for each and every student to achieve personal, academic, and career excellence. And Mr. Kane, the individual whom we are recognizing tonight, does that on a daily basis and with outcomes, with outputs. And that is why we believe and know he's being honored by the Athletic Association, but we in the school system see this in him every day. And we are just honored to have him as a colleague. This is year 33 for him. So that's partly my way of trying to convince him that he's still got a whole lot of gas to go and not leave, because he's doing amazing things for students in the Tuscaloosa City Schools. I'm going to ask Mr. Hurd to say a few words, and then we are going to give Mr. Kane our Achieving Excellence Challenge coin, because it is what he does regularly. But Mr. Hurd, if you could address some of this from the Athletic Association, please,
Yes,
sir.
good evening, Mr. Chair and the board. It's truly an honor to be here to recognize Coach Kane. First, let me thank Mrs. Kane. Let's give her a round of applause. As a coach's wife, that's a big deal, but all the things that he does, we know there's a lot of sacrifice, and we thank both of you guys for the hard work and dedication to TCS. I'm just going to read a couple of things that I charted based on how prestigious this award is. 19 coaches in the Alabama High School Athletic Association were recognized by the National Federation of State High School Associations, NFHS, as State Coaches of the Year for the 21-22 school year at our 2023 Annual Championship Coaches Award banquet in July. Now, these recipients must exemplify the highest standards of sportsmanship, ethical conduct, and moral character, and be endorsed by their respective state high school associations. We'll never forget about that 2022 Alabama High School Association 6A Boys Tennis State Championship in the fashion that we won. So this award is about the character of this man, all the things that he does for our district. So I'm not going to speak anymore. I'm just going to bring up Coach Kane and let him have a few words. Thank you.
They messed up and let me go with the mic right here. First of all, I appreciate you recognizing my wife, because without her, I'm not doing the things I'm doing, and coaches' wives don't get enough credit. And I just really am appreciative that she's always there for me, and she's my backbone. So thank her for that. Also, even though this is a recognition that they put my name on, this is truly a team thing. It's a group effort, and I just try to play my small role in that. But of course, my wife has to display everything at the house. So as I look at the award that's there, every time I look at it, I don't think of, wow, look at what I did, but I think of memories that I have from the last, in particular, the 2022 year. And so many people played such an important role with that, including your school board president right here. And I was thinking just today of how he was able to be there with his son as a part of that. And I think of other people that were involved in that, whether it's Coach Townsend, who played a huge role in that. But I just think of the relationships with those people, and also the different players on the team. They're all special, and they all did their role. And I still haven't hit a ball at a state tournament. They're the ones that do the work, and I'm just happy to go along for the ride. And it's been a true pleasure, and I certainly appreciate y'all recognizing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And real quick, I think the board's going to say a couple words. This is not athletics, but equally as important.
Okay. Found out, I guess last week, that the Northridge Jazz Ensemble has been selected as one of usually like 5 groups that have been selected to perform at the Alabama Music Educators Association convention in this coming January. So we'll be playing up in Huntsville, and that's truly an honor. So.
Hang on right.
And she does a great job of advertising, so I'll be getting with you.
I just want to say thank you so much, Coach and Mrs. Kane, both, for the time and love that you pour into these kids. Northridge High School is truly so fortunate to have you. And I think we all know that winning sports is always fun, but it's about what these students learn being a part of a team, overcoming challenges that makes them such more well-rounded people, aside from just the education that they're getting. And I just want to thank you for the role that you play in that. I'm just very thankful.
Thank you.
Mr. Kane, so many years ago, I don't know how long it's been, but you had one of my children in your class. I'm sure you know, you remember. There are only a few teachers, instructors, support staff that she talks about very fondly, and you're one of those few. So thank you for all that you do. And I know with the children and her in particular, sometimes it's tough lessons, hard knocks, but what it is impactful learning that also shows that circle of love, that circle of kindness that you instill, and you did that. You captured that moment for her, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for all of the ones that come through your classes, be it band, tennis, whatever it is. One of the Swiss Army blades that you have is impacted into you. We thank you wholeheartedly, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. So.
Congratulations. I can't speak a lot. They gave me 2 seconds, so congratulations.
Well, I'm going to say, you've done a great job inspiring young people in what you do. And like Mr. Simmons just said, whether it's music or sports, whatever it is, you give 100%. And, I'm going to just second what they just said. Without somebody right there behind you, understanding you know, the long hours you put in, and I know you put in a lot of long hours. And you didn't mention the parade you all just come back from. You know, just so many things. You just can keep talking about what you have done. And I look at the fact that the young people, even going to that parade, some of them never would have had the opportunity to see a place like that and see the things that they saw during that time, and the impact that you've done on them in their life, you know, it's just outstanding. And we as a system, we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate that.
and if you watched PBS on July 4th, you got to see him front and center during the Pops concert. But,
Yep.
you know, Coach Kane, first, I would like to echo what you said about your wife. She was with you every step of the way, and not only was she with you, but she was with you and supportive and loving and not just there to be there. So thank you and congratulations to you as well. You know, I have a unique perspective because Ethan, my son, played on that team. Coach Kane gave him a lot of opportunity early on, molded, shaped him. And Coach Hurd, I promise I didn't read what you said about what AHSAA says, but when I was writing down some of my thoughts today, I use words like high character, kind, uncompromising in his values, ethical, friendly, when I describe you. And, you know, no one is more deserving of this award than you. And you change kids' lives for the better every day. What a lot of y'all don't know is, this goes to his character. This team had a lot of potential from early on, and Coach Kane, you know, molded and shaped the lineup early on and had it pretty much set. And, you know, one of his senior students did some things that got in trouble, and, you know, Coach Kane, after a few other things could have happened, he could have easily looked the other way and maybe not done the right thing. But he had standards, he had ethics, and he ran his team that way, whether you were number 1 or whether you were number 10. And in doing so, he could have easily derailed this team. It, in fact, was brilliant in sticking to his morals because it actually made the team stronger. And it's just a great example of you stick to your core values and good things will come. But I'm a better man for knowing you in that season, so congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And Coach, you do not have to stick around for the rest of the meeting. You're welcome to. All right, public comments on non-agenda items. There's no one signed up, which brings us to informational reports. Tonight, our CSFO, Mr. Jay Duke, we will receive a CARES financial update. Mr. Duke?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. I'd like to bring a brief update, now our kind of monthly update on the CARES or ESSER federal funds. This report will be through June 30th. CARES 1, of course, ended last year. CARES 2 is, as of June 30th, was almost wrapped up, and by the next time I report out, it will be wrapped up. And just know that the way this works, it will then roll or spill over into CARES 3. And I think you've heard me say before that CARES 3, you'll start seeing those percentages increase rapidly starting next month as CARES 2 has ended. So you see there CARES 2 is at 96.1, again 3 months remaining, but it will actually expire, or said another way, we'll spend that money before September 30th. And again, those expenditures roll over into CARES 3. CARES 3, we've spent about $10 million. We have about $18 million remaining. The way these things were, the smallest one was the first one. CARES 1 was $3 million. CARES 2 was about $8 million, and then about $28 million in CARES 3. So this thing's kind of backloaded. So that's why you'll see CARES 2 again spill over into CARES 3. What you don't see yet is a lot of these CARES Act monies are funding our summer programs, and so what you don't see yet, we paid those bills in July and August. So the next report out, you'll see kind of an uptick in, CARES 3 will uptick for sure compared to what you see tonight. So, again, summer 2023 is not reflected. Also, no CARES 3 will need to pay for summer 2024. So, that's why you only see 35.8, but again, those numbers will uptick. On the next slide is just the expiration dates. So CARES 3 ends September 30th of 2024. So as of this report, about 15 months remaining. Now, what you'll see at the next board meeting when I report out on our general fund management report, the just monthly report out on the financial situation of the system as a whole, what you'll see in our general fund is that we're actually tracking below budget. That's a good thing. So we're slightly below budget. The reason is that we've got a lot of our expenditures properly parked in these ESSER funds. So right now, we've got a false read on our general fund that it's below budget. And that's a good thing. But again, when these funds, these federal funds get pulled back into the fold after September 30th of 2024, the game changes a little bit. So I'll pause there. I'll be glad to take any questions. And again, I'll be back again next month and report out.
Questions for Mr. Duke? All right, thank you, sir. We
Okay,
appreciate
thank you.
All right, item 8 is introductions of motions, resolutions for a first reading, of which there are none. This brings us to item 9, the consent agenda items. We have 9A, 9B, 9C. Board may have a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
A motion, we have a second by Ms. Powell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Those will be approved. Item number 10, regular agenda items for final adoption. 10A, approve superintendent's recommendations regarding changes in personnel. Dr. Cameron? Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I've got the superintendent's recommendations regarding changes in personnel. I've also got a supplemental list. I will go through both with you. Starting on page 1, you have 3 resignations, 4 new certified personnel, 3 new support personnel, 241 part-time extended day tutors, which carries us to page 7. On page 7, you have 1 rehire. The following page, you have 2 23-24 NAESP certified principal mentors and 1 job declination. For the supplemental list, you have 3 resignations, 2 new support personnel, 15 part-time extended day tutors, 2 23-24 administrative support, and you have 1 transfer of support personnel.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Cameron. Board, is a long list. I'll give you a few seconds, but are there any set-asides for a separate vote by number only, please? Okay, Board, last call for set-asides. Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second by Mr. Simmons. Are there questions or discussion by number only, please?
We'll be okay on 2, 3, original.
We are. I misplaced them on the personnel list. In fact, number 7 is replacing number 2. And we've got a spot for number 3 with a permanent sub that's on an LSC, which is that permanent sub doing her internship in the classroom.
I'm excited to see number 23 on the supplemental list. Whatever she wants to do, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. She's always awesome. Both of them are. They are fantastic, and they're,
Agree.
anytime I call them, they answer, so that's a good thing.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Those will be approved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I have a question not relating to this, but to Dr. Cameron. How is TCTA doing on their staffing?
We've got all but 1. We're still working on the electrical teacher. We've got that posted on Indeed. We paused it for a moment. Ms. Branch is looking to reset, so we've got it posted on Indeed. We've also got it posted on our website, but we're just making sure we've got the right person for that particular position. That's the only thing that we've got to fill here.
Did we ever, I know, was it salary the issue?
Well, we hired the welding. It's, one of them turned us down just because he didn't want to leave his particular job, and just the two others fell through as well. I don't know if salary, I'm sure it played a little part in it, but now we moved to 10 months, so that's helped us along the line. Yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
But everything else is covered in this building, except electrical, right?
Yes, sir.
Even cosmetology.
Cosmetology.
Cosmetology, that's a part-time, so we're looking to fill that. And we've actually got it, it's the cosmetology / barbering, so we're looking at either one. That was a contract coming in, so we're looking at that moving forward.
But we ready to start the
Yeah,
school year.
but I think Ms. Branch has been in contact, and I think we've got somebody to fill that spot.
We ready.
I just missed it. That was
So
a
the 10
part-time
months
person.
was a good,
It
a good
was.
pivot. That,
Yes, ma'am. Now, not everybody took advantage of the 10-month, and that was their choice, but it's helped us with salaries, up in the salary. Yes, ma'am.
But, you know, and I don't know, it's off basis, but future will be a 10-month school from here on out. So when we post another position for somebody, it'll be a 10-month.
You know, if
It's just-
somebody moves out that was the 9-month, we would post that for a 10-month spot. Yes, sir. And they may change their mind coming up this coming school year where they want to move them from the 9 to the 10.
And I want to just say, I appreciate how you all are working with people to try to get in, because a lot of people want to come teach, electricians, plumbers, cosmetologists, with the barrier, I know in the cosmetology industry, is not having the proper instructor license to teach, you know, and especially later in life, people don't want to go back to school, and it take hours during the day. With Kelly Services, and the school system is definitely working with those adults. So I appreciate that, because it's not probably 4 people in the city of Tuscaloosa, or I don't even know, in Alabama, you know, how many, but I know the city of Tuscaloosa do not have 4 licensed cosmetology instructors, you know, to teach. And I'm one of them, and I can't teach, you know, and so I appreciate that. It means
Yes,
a
ma'am.
lot, because we had like 200 students wanting to get in the program, but we don't have a lot of instructors.
And Dr. Cameron, as school's starting, you hear all these national reports on the news of how every system is facing shortages. And so on behalf of the board, thank you, especially you and Ms. Scott, for tirelessly working in this realm and putting us in the best position possible, and a lot of great hard work, so thank you.
Thank you. The principals have done a fantastic job with getting those people in there, and just HR department, they are constantly busy answering questions, so they've done a marvelous job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, board, item number 10B, review and affirm the Tuscaloosa City School vision, mission, and beliefs. So I'm going to hand out Kendra.
I will be Kendra, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Okay, board, as you know, this board created this vision and our core values and our beliefs, and they're more than just words, and we put a lot of time and thought and heart and teamwork into this. And like I said, they're more than just words, and I think it's when we had our meeting, when we had our weekly meeting with Dr. Daria, Mr. Lucas and I thought it once again very important that we sort of renew and reaffirm what our core mission and beliefs are. So, you know, I think let's read them out loud. At this time, I'll read the mission and the vision, and then I've given everyone If they'll read their highlighted, I'm sorry, I didn't highlight you differently than Patrick, but belief
I'm a
statements.
professional, so I'll rise above it.
All right, thank you. All right, so our mission, the mission of the Tuscaloosa City Schools is to create and support a culture of high expectations for each and every student to achieve personal, academic, and career excellence. Our vision, the vision of the Tuscaloosa City Schools is to be a premier, innovative school system where each and every student graduates and is fully prepared for life and career success. So now at this time, I'll ask everyone to read their highlighted belief statement.
We believe it is critical to maintain a climate of two-way communication and trust with stakeholders.
We believe we must foster a system-wide culture of innovation. We believe we must maintain an inclusive environment and high expectations.
We believe that every student should thrive in our system.
We believe we must continually improve academic achievement and enrichment through quality instruction for all students.
We believe every Tuscaloosa City Schools employee is an asset in ensuring the success of every student.
We believe we must hold ourselves accountable for the success of the Tuscaloosa City Schools and its students.
Dr. Derry, do you have anything to say?
So I just say thank you. We're getting ready to start off a new year. We know this is going to be the best year yet. By affirming that vision, mission, and those beliefs, that really kind of just helps us keep our North Star and us centered on it. You do have in here the component that we enact that vision, that mission, and those beliefs through our strategic plan. We're going to be coming back to that strategic plan in a little bit to revisit a couple pieces. One is the time component. The second part is going to be the funding and the priority piece. Just an update on that. We had our input sessions with all 1,500 of our employees last week, and we got some incredibly strong and rich feedback from our employees. We'll be doing the same for our entire community in September. That input will drive some priority setting in our strategic plan. For this school year, we have 4 clear big rocks, if you will, that all of our schools are aligning, and that's K through 12 literacy and numeracy achievement, extra and co-curricular participation. We want every student participating in something outside the school. That every one of our graduates leaves us with a CCRI and a post-secondary plan. We're at 89% in this last senior class. We need 100% this year. And then lastly, optimal teaching and learning environment. All 4 of those are outcomes-based, and that's what this board is about, is outcomes, not necessarily the inputs, but what's the result of the work that we're doing? What's the result of that vision, that mission, and those beliefs? We'll have SMART goals set and ready when we do our data meeting, and we've got the right people, we've got the right resources, and this is going to be a great year. We appreciate the board for its vision and its strategic plan, and we're ready to open school tomorrow and really live out this vision, mission, and beliefs. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, so thank you, Dr. Daria. Thank you to the board, great leadership, and let's have another great year. I know we will. Item number 11 is unfinished business, of which there is none to attend to. General announcements. School's open tomorrow, so I know Dr. D will be out and about, so if you have a chance, hook up with them and go visit a school. I'm assuming we can go visit as we please.
Would love.
We have the Chamber State of the Community at Bryant Conference Center tomorrow at 11:30. So if you can attend that, please do. And then, will we have a called board meeting next Tuesday? We do. Okay, called board meeting next Tuesday, Regions Room downtown. Does any other board member have any general announcements?
I don't have an announcement, I have a question. I'm sorry, and it's directed to Mr. Smith or Dr. Derry. It's just a general question about the speaker system at Central. Have we talked about that? Just happened to be over there for graduation, and the sound system.
We'll get a fact for you on that one. I think we're waiting on something on that when we did the update to all the auditoriums, but Dr. Schultz is working on that with Mr. Smith, so we'll get an update for you on that one.
Just thought about it. I'm used to you coming to the mic, and when they are talking on the mics, it just sound, and it looks so upgraded over there for the sound system not to match. So just asking, because I know that's a community hub that we tend to use a lot, and it just didn't sound quality, that's all.
They recently upgraded that, so I'm sure
We'll get facts on it, and it may just be the way it was set up, but let us get facts on that for you.
I got 2 seconds. Okay, really quick.
That's 2. That's already been 2.
2 things. We did pray, and I just prayed for a very successful year. I prayed for unity in TCS, and we definitely, he dumbed it down. Like, yesterday was the best Institute Day, besides when Kip spoke, Dr. Sutton that year. He did well, I just say this, the speaker was phenomenal, but the vendors, at first I was like, oh Lord, there's so much going on. But I love every minute of it, and it showed unity with the 2 school systems, adopt the school. It was just awesome. And so kudos to you and Miss Brewer, that did put it together, and everybody, big shout out to Dr. Cameron, because when I came in, I didn't have a table to fit he walked all the way around the Coleman Coliseum with my table, but he helped when he didn't have to, and that was very important to me. But I just want to say I prayed for a marvelous year. We have had more meetings, I think, before the school system started than anything. We have a lot of new principals, and so I just encourage everyone to try to keep a positive mind. Anybody who's watching, parents, like, let's make this a great year, because we have overcome some obstacles. I remember coming back to the school year in 2020, and I'm just like, oh my God, but God, we have flourished, and it's because of you all. Eric, you have done a great job leading us, Marvin, Patrick, Dr. Jackson, Leslie, Erskine. I would not want to work with another board. You all have done and the folks who left, who was on our board last time? It was all right, but this is the last thing. But this has been a big challenge. This board and all these obstacles we went through, and so going into the next year, I just want the Lord to just watch over us. It's important, and I gotta say it publicly, but that's what's on my heart. That we have a great year, and that's it.
Thank you.
awesome.
I didn't pray, because I prayed we'd be here all night, but that's it.
And I will say to the 2 gentlemen that have been here for a long time, the grass was cut yesterday. So I'm gonna leave that shade to the left. They used to talk about the grass being cut, and the grass was cut yesterday, so
Wonderful.
I think that's a good sign right there.
Noteworthy.
People just don't know.
All right, anything further? All right, let's go.